if we look at the club and we try to strip it back and look at current state versus where they've been, for me at the moment, I think it's, and I'm putting my corporate hat on, it's got a start-up feel, right? Where you talk about Kanga, one of your foreign players has come in. There's elements. I saw Driller's post-match. He's talking about implementing a certain style. Right, there's so many elements that you need to get right from recruitment. The players from last year versus this year. Have you got the right blend? You know, managing them players from a football perspective, but then managing them as individuals, whether they're local, whether they're internationals. And all of this has to come together as a club. And there might be, I don't know if I'm being generous here, Maxi, there might be some teething issues in this initial phase with this initial takeover. But Driller's going to be feeling that pressure, right? And for him, it's how quickly can he bring this back, right? Can he claw it back? And it's going to be little wins, right? It's going to be obviously tinkering with what he's got, which I think, you know, he mentioned that in his post-match presser. You know, he has to work with the current crop of players that he's got. And then it's the club, you know, footy director, Stanko, and the board behind him saying, you know, what does January look like in terms of making a few moves, right? From that perspective, seeing who we might be able to bring in, obviously while retaining the current crop, but tinkering a little bit to try get a little bit of momentum back, because it's a big club, right? It's a proud club. I think what the new administration and new owners have done is great, but like all startups, whether it be in football, whether it be in business, it's quite difficult, right? You got to work on 2-3 different buckets and make sure they align. And one of the offhanded comments was it was unacceptable from a fan's perspective. Look, if they start to get things right, the fans will come back. Again, the challenge is now time for Driller, and you know what this looks like. Can he get through to January, you know, with a couple of golden moments, and then build from there after that transfer window?